Hi there, and welcome to the Ides character sheet tutorial. In this quick video, I'm going to show you how to modify your character sheet so that it can be printed by Ides staff for you when you come to the next event. First, go to drive.google.com on your web browser and navigate down to the Shared with Me tab on the side. In your Shared with Me tab, you should have a folder with your name on it. This was made by Ides staff, so we'll go ahead and open that. And in there you should have a couple of documents. One of these documents is your character history sheet, which was created via your character history form you submitted, and the other should be your V4 character sheet. Now, if you played in previous seasons, you will also have a V3 character sheet. And you can use that to make sure you put the right skills into V4, just to compare them. And then once your V4 character sheet is complete, you can go ahead and delete that because we won't be using them again. So let's go ahead and open this character sheet. So real quick, I'm going to show you the tabs at the bottom that are pertinent to what you need to know. Down here, on the bottom left, we have Calculator. That is this sheet here. That is where we will input all of our skills that we want and our character name so that the character sheet looks correct. In the middle, we have a cheat sheet. This will actually populate with all of the skills that you choose and a description of that skill, which can be a helpful guide if you need any sort of reminder of how your skills work while you're on the field. And finally, your character sheet. This is the finished sheet that Ides will print off for you. It shows your name, your character name, your race, your build, and also your racial combat skills depending on your race. There's also a temporary effects tab now, which Ides will use on site. If they want to give you some kind of temporary effect, they'll just write it there, and if it's semi-permanent, we may even type it into this area later. So let's go back to the calculator. We're going to go over some of these cells. So the player name is going to automatically be filled out when you get your character sheet. Character name, that's for you to fill out. So I'm just going to put Tess T. Esther. Your race and race subtype will also be filled out automatically for you, as will your experience, your soul burdens, your hit point allocation, your attendance, your paragon, and your sheet errors will only show if you run into any problems. If any information regarding your race, your name, your experience, your burdens, your hit points, your attendance, even your paragon, if any of that looks incorrect, let someone on staff know so we can get that fixed up for you. It is rather simple for us to do that. Your attendance will auto-populate after each event, as will your soul burdens, and your XP will reflect that. Next, let's look at the main thing that we're really going to be messing with, which is this area here. You have your skill type, your skill subtype, your select skill, explanation, ranks, and then your costs. Your skill type is the overall genre of skill that you want to choose. So for this example, let's just try to put in Path of Finesse Tier 1. So in skill type, we would go down and choose Combat Skills. Then in subtype, this will now show all of the combat skills, so we'll choose Path of Finesse. And then in Select Skill, we'll choose Path of Finesse Tier 1. And it's as simple as that. The ranks will automatically be 1 at all times, and if there is any reason that they might be able to go higher than that, the whole cell will turn blue. So I'll show you an example of that. Let's go to non-combat skills, general skills, and evaluate item. Nope, that one doesn't have multiple. Let's do plant gathering. Plant gathering can go all the way to 5 ranks, so it's blue, so that you know to check it, make sure it has the ranks that you'd like. So if we go over and look at the cheat sheet, you'll already see that Path of Finesse, all the skills have a quick description on them, and I've got a quick explanation of how plant gathering works. It should be noted that the wording in the rulebook is the true law of the land, and the wording on the cheat sheets has been simmered down and simplified specifically to provide you just with a reminder of what these skills do. So if you really have no idea what a skill does, you should definitely get to know that skill, even if you're going to be utilizing this cheat sheet, just in case any small change of wording maybe affected what the skill does. Now that shouldn't be the case, but we just want to go ahead and make that clear, just in case. You know, if you delete, you can delete one word in a rule, and it can change the direction of that rule. But even now, we have a pretty nice character sheet. It's showing our skills, it's showing our ranks, it's showing our racial skills. It's all pretty good. So we could stop there for this example, but let's actually change our race, because our race does change a few things. We'll choose Prelly, for example, and we'll take this subtype off. So whenever you choose a race that has racial skills, you will get these highlighted rows. And that's just telling you that you need to choose whatever is explained in the explanation. So this top one says craft, profession, or weaving. So we'll just go ahead and change this to a craft. You'll actually see something cool happen when I choose this. I'll do cooking. If you noticed, I now can do my cooking production down here because I chose cooking. Then I'll change this to evaluate item. Change that back to 1 rank. And we'll do income here. And we're good. Now we do get 2 ranks of craft, don't we? And 3 ranks of income. So, and look, we haven't even used any of our XP yet. The Prelly are pretty broken, aren't they? So let's throw a couple other things in here just so that we have a nice little cheat sheet to look at. Let's do manipulation, path of bone, 2-1, and then we'll do an extra fatigue. And that's pretty good. Let's actually... There we go. Let's do 3 ranks of extra fatigue. So now we've got a pretty fleshed out character. And if you look at your cheat sheet, you now have an explanation of everything that we've purchased so far. You will see that the cooking, any of the crafts, the cooking, the forge craft, and the herbalism, they don't have a full cheat sheet just because those are very large. We're actually going to print some of those off or link you to those so that you can have those, just because they're just going to take up a lot of space. And then, of course, if you go to your character sheet, you've got all your stuff listed out. Defensive curl, all of your skills so that we can check them out if we ever need to. But that's really it. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to use these productions. If you change your craft here to Forge Craft, these extra tabs actually go away and become Forge Craft here in just a moment. So there we've got Forge Craft production and our Forge Craft tags. And then we can do the same thing if we want to do herbalism. And there's no limit to this. I mean, if you want to do Forge Craft and herbalism and cooking, you'll have just a bunch of tabs down here. But this is going to allow you guys to go ahead and fill out your production and then have the tags ready for us to just print out when we print out your character sheets, which is just going to be very helpful, going to be very efficient. You won't have to send us lists of anything unless you're making any sort of unique items, perhaps from recipes and unique blueprints and things like that. But anything standard that's in the rule book is all on these production calculators. So we think that's going to help a lot. But otherwise, this is a finished character sheet, and the cheat sheet's working, and everything looks good. So jump into it, get those things completed when you can, and yeah, look forward to the next video. I'll do a quick rundown of how each of the production sheets work.